What's going on, all you beautiful souls? Welcome back to another episode of Heck versus Hell, where the truth we tell. As you may or may not know, I am Hector Rivera, back with another one. I'm actually surprised that we're able to get this other one. I'm recording this yesterday of the time you're listening to this on, so Thursday. And I was surprised that I'm actually able to record this for you because we had a little bit of an issue. Just to give you an inside scoop of where we're at, just go into the conversation. Hi, how you doing? I can't even ask you that because you can't have that conversation with me. But so that's why we're going straight into the conversation. um I've been a little sick this past week, but that's kind of deteriorated. It's been trials, tribulations. You already know everything has to do with the spiritual world, whether it's a sickness, an ailment, any type of nutrition, any situation happening. It's always in correlation with the spiritual. So that was some type of purging happening within me so that I can become better. I was not expecting to receive my laptop back because Saturday, I believe it was Saturday, the day after the last episode, I had dropped my laptop. The screen broke. I have a Chromebook. This is where I do all my work, all my recordings. And I took it that same day to go get it fixed. They told me the part was going to take maybe till Thursday to arrive. Thursday or Friday, they said. And then it would take an extra business day. So I was not expecting my laptop to get back to me until today. Today because you're listening to this on Friday, or tomorrow on Saturday. Thankfully, by the grace of God, we received it yesterday on Wednesday. They hit me up out of nowhere, said, "Hey, we have your laptop ready. Who's going to pick it up?" So that's what was going on. And we're like, awesome. That means that I can deliver a quick message for each and every one of you listening to this today. So the message that today will be about your focus and realigning your focus. Because every single day we get caught up in a day-to-day world is going piggybacking off of the last episode. We're always caught up in the day-to-day world. We're always focused and getting bogged down by what happens, the stress and anxiety. And we seem to forget why we're even here. There's times when you just go and you are so focused in your day-to-day basis that you forget what the long-term vision is. I mean, let me ask you, do you have any goals in which you want to accomplish for your life? Whether it be something like financial freedom, having enough money to move your parents somewhere nice or get them to stop working altogether, having a really nice house to where you can provide a family and a house for future generations to come, that type of financial freedom, getting married by a certain age, being in a position to where you're just inside of a business at a certain level where you want to be, and just becoming that career, becoming the best in that career, whatever your vision is. What is your goal? What are the goals in which you have? Now, I'm going to give you a couple moments to think about that. Now, it doesn't all have to be financial. It doesn't all have to be career, relationship related, but those are some of the major goals. Some people have goals a little shallow to where it's like, okay, well, I want this type of car. If you're focused on that, dig deeper. I want this car. I want this much money so I can buy me a nice golden grill or something like that. Dig deeper than that. Tell me what you truly want, what you truly desire. Open your heart. Look into your heart and tell me your desires. Because there's somewhere inside your heart where you want something much greater than what you're doing. And maybe it's just a sense of purpose in this world. And that's huge because a lot of people are just walking this world not even looking for that. They're just hoping maybe by some stroke of luck, which we know luck doesn't exist, they end up coming across that, finding their purpose. Okay, so what are your goals? And actually, let's go further than that. Let me hear them. send them over to our email at fliptheswitch@reborn.com. That's flipdaswitch@reborn.com, so we could see what your goals are. Maybe on the next episode, we're just going to go and help you plan the steps to get there. Okay? That sounds like a good topic of conversation. We could definitely do that. If we don't do it on here, we'll do it on the RDDC platform and make that happen. Just give me your goals so we can see them together. See, whenever we go and we start saying them, now that's not to say tell everybody your goals. Tell everybody what you're doing. Tell everybody what you want to accomplish in life. Because if your goal is big enough to where it scares you, it's definitely going to scare other people. So I wouldn't advise you to go sharing your goals and dreams with everybody else, because there are a lot of dream killers. And unfortunately, the main people that try to kill your dreams are the people you're closest to. Because once you start to shine out like that, like you were meant to, and flip the switch in your life, they're going to feel intimidated. They're going to feel like they don't have that type of access to you, or like you've just outgrown them altogether. So the relationships that you have, if they're not trying to grow with you, they're trying to keep you stagnant. They're trying to make sure that you don't grow. So those are actually going to be two topics of conversation that we're going to have next week and the week after that, which are going to be amazing. And it's going to be talking about certain types of abundance, manifestation, what we focus on more so. So whenever you have those clear in your mind, depict them so clear to where you could draw a picture if you had the skills, or if you just didn't, to where you can draw a picture. Write it down. Don't just, oh, this is what I want, and then it's gone. 5 minutes later, you're back to your normal routine, back to over here honking in traffic, back to over here having an argument with your family, with your relationship, whatever it may be. Write it down. Tell us what it is. We can help you keep accountability in some type of way like that. Once you do that, I want you to take some time apart after you finish listening to this, or you could pause it right now. Go and see yourself in it. Be so detailed to where you know the color of the walls if it's a house. You know the amount of rooms. You know where it's located. You know how many bathrooms it has. You know where your closet is. You know how you're going to have your bed layout and your bedroom laid out. You know how you want to have your living room. Where you want the TV hung at. What type of couches you want. The kitchen, is it close by? Is it on the other side of the house? Whatever it may be. Be as detailed as you can be. And if it's a position of business, because sometimes your business and your company, whatever company you're in, whatever business you're in, can fuel those dreams. Be as detailed as you can when it comes to that. What position do you want? Is there someone in the position that you currently have, which would make it much easier for you to visualize? And tell me, how do you feel? Feel it. Be in a first person perspective. Don't look at it from a third person, but fully attach yourself to that. Feel it, all the sensations that you're going to feel, the happiness, the joy, the gratitude, the abundance that you're going to feel. Feel it. Write it down.
Please listen to this special announcement. For the past few months, our DDC and Flip the Switch have been working on something amazing for your spiritual, mental, and emotional growth that can be brought into your physical worlds. And that is the FDS Think and Grow Rich Execution Style Masterclass, which doors are now open. Not only will you gain the clarity, insight, and blueprint form of what you need, along with the enlightenment you've been waiting for, but we are also rewarding you beyond your wildest dreams. That is definitely right. Rewarding you for not only taking the first step into creating a new life and new vision for yourselves and those connected to you, but also rewarding you with an excursion to live out your new hopes and dreams, to rewrite the chapters from your newfound level of life, all while relaxing and enjoying the moment where someone actually spoils you for you taking the initiative to change the game upon your own journey. So, if you want to find out more, we'll have a link provided on all our broadcast channels as well as our blog spot and www.realdoubledosechannel.com so you can get all the insights on how to sign up and get started today. And if you are a business influencer, entrepreneur, or anything under the sun that serves others, you might also want to check this out as well. So you can offer these special packages to give to your clients, friends, customers, students, and loved ones. We'll see you on the flip side. And now back to your favorite show with the RDDC's Double Dose wonderful broadcast channel.
Visualize yourself in that position. How would people approach you? How would your relationships feel? Would you even be in the same relationship? How would you feel? How would people talk to you? How would people try to communicate with you? How many people would have access to you? Get as detailed as you can get. And feel it. Stay in that moment of feeling. Even after, be conscious of your thoughts. We had spoke about this in previous episodes. Be conscious of your thoughts. And don't just let any thought come to your mind, because once you start thinking and playing into the old mindset, why would you ever get there? If you're back into the same pattern. Once you're back into the same pattern, the outcome is not going to change. So you have to consciously think of your thoughts. That's the whole thing about manifestation. People think, oh, if I think hard enough, boom, it'll happen. I saw it, it's going to happen now. I wrote it down, it's going to happen now. You're supposed to actually take certain actions to get towards it. Once it is pictured in your mind, you can visualize it. Then it becomes like a memory. Then you start feeling those feelings even now. So now you're starting to carry yourself in the way you want to carry yourself as. Now, there are certain blockages that may stop you, and we'll go into that later. We'll have a whole different conversation about certain blockages that may stop you from getting to those desired locations and destinations. But for now, focus on where you're at and where you want to be. And the main thing to do from there, close the gap. You want to be making $10,000 a month? Break it down. Where is the gap? Where are you at right now? What is it going to take to get there? If you break that down, $10,000 a month, that's what? A couple $100 a day? $330 a day, to be exact. That's how much money, you have to make a day for you to get to $10,000 a month. Break it down like that. Okay, an hour. How much time will you be working? Okay, 8 hours a day. We'll say we'll round it to $300 a day, 8 hours. Divide the 300 by 8. Don't even want to go into the math right now. It's close to $40, something like that. That's how much money you have to make. Now you know what you have to do. Now you can look for a position to be able to make that type of money. Or you can build the value in which you have, the information, knowledge you operate off of, build your skill set to be able to make that kind of money. See, that's the whole thing about manifestation. It's knowing the end goal and supplying and fueling that manifestation and vision you pictured. So stop living in your day-to-day and letting it bog you down and being so mad at life because you're in control of your life. You have that power to literally take the bull by the horns. Every single buddy will tell you if they've hit $1 million that it is your responsibility to get there. Whether you grew up having no money or grew up having so much money. If you do not make, we'll say $1 million by the age of 40, no offense to you that are at that age right now, if you don't make that much money by that age, we'll say 50. If you don't make $1 million by the age of 50, that is on you. That is your responsibility. Because you didn't take the right steps to get you there. You didn't position yourself, and you let life use you. You let life be in control of you and your life. You didn't allow yourself and believe in yourself enough to take that and create it. So with every single thought, focus on being responsible. That's one of the biggest things that we can do, is the responsibility in which we hold as to what we can do with our life. Because you can come up with 1,001 excuses for everything that you do. Every single situation. There will always be 1,000 excuses. And there will be very few reasons why you should do it. So that pull, that visualization that you're doing, you've already seen what it can do. So it helps eliminate any fear and get you in that position so you can start, okay, well, I saw it. It's already a memory. My brain's not scared because I know what's on the other side. I know where I'm headed. A lot of people don't take those risks because they don't know where they're headed. A lot of people don't take any risks at all because of that fear. They could know the consequences, and the consequence could be bad. But that's the thing about it. You have to understand that everything requires something. And if you want the life that you want to live, I guarantee you it's going to cost you more than you want to give. And that's where you have to take responsibility. Because a lot of you listening to this right now have people or situations, responsibilities that are dependent on you. And you're making that happen. You're making sure that's paid for. You're making sure that whoever is dependent on you is getting what they need, is sufficing that. Now, let's say, for example, your partner, your parent, whatever it may be, they got sick. They needed to pay medical bills. Their medical bills were twice as much as you were making. So now you got to make 3 times the income that you're making. I guarantee you, if you were put in that position, you would find a way to do it. So the whole point of it is making sure that you are so fully committed and looking at it as the people that depend on you will not get what they deserve because you don't want to take responsibility for your life. Because you want to play the victim and you want to let life grab you by the horns and lead you instead of you doing that to it. Look at it like that. So the opposite of letting someone down, what's the opposite of that? How do you not let someone down? It's believe in yourself. It's commit to the lifestyle that you want to live. Commit to that goal and vision. Commit to it. It's that simple. It's as simple as it sounds, but that doesn't mean it's as easy as it sounds. There's going to be days where you don't want to get up. Those days where I was sick, I still had to do what I had to do with what I had. So I was still out here making sure that I could do things. But if I literally had a situation, like I couldn't access certain software, certain things that I have on my computer, but I still did other things that would put me on the path towards reaching our end goal, reaching to where we want to get. I was getting ads ready on my phone. I was doing what I had to do, promoting certain events. That event that we're going to have here in a couple weeks, that one, I was still promoting it from my phone. I was still inviting people on, still making sure people knew about it. So there should be no excuses to whatever it is you want to achieve in life. If it is short, guarantee you at least one of you listening to this right now will take this into account and put it into action. And to that one person, Bravo. Good job. Now keep going. Because it doesn't stop right when you start. Really, it never really stops. Once you reach that goal, make another one. Get a bigger goal. Life is all about growing. If you stop growing, you stop living. That's the truth. That's why people are so miserable at a certain age. That's why even now, people in their 20s, people in their 30s are very miserable because they stopped growing. They stopped learning. They're living the same day-to-day cycle. And insanity is having the same cycle repeat itself. That's what people say, right? Insanity is the same thing over and over. What I believe is that insanity is the result of having the same thing happen over and over, to the point where they go and they're so tired of it that they create their own reality in their head. And if they can do it to where nobody else agrees with them, to where everybody else thinks they're crazy, you should have that same kind of commitment. Get insane. Get tired of your life that you're living right now. Not in a sense to say, I hate my life, but to know you shouldn't be comfortable where you're at. To know you should never stand still, because the creator is always moving. And you, once again, are a mini creator. So that's the message I wanted to leave with you today. Once again, if you do want to sign up for our event, gonna be definitely as good as this information that you're always receiving from Lex, from me, from all of us on the team. You definitely should join. If you're focused on trying to get your business better, focused on trying to add more value when it comes to your business, even just simple pieces of information. And one thing that I learned was that whenever people pay for mentors, because there's millionaires out here that still get mentoring from people that are making tens of millions of dollars. There's people making $100 million that are getting mentored from billionaires. Okay, so what I came to understand was they still get mentorship because one little piece of information is what can change your life. So there's some people that pay $30,000 a month, and it's that one piece of information that they get, that one piece of information that they receive. So if you're always looking for that opportunity, for that piece of information, for that affirmation that you are enough, that you are purposed, that you can do it, look for it. Find it, because it's all around you. Everything is pushing you towards this calling. That's why you're here right now. Nothing is a coincidence. There's no such thing as luck. You're listening to this right now because you were purposed. All 10 out of 10 of you. Every single one of you. I say 10 out of 10 because I said 1 out of 10 of you will take this information, right? All of you are purposed. All of you are listening to this right now for a reason. It's not an accident. It's not a stroke of luck. You could have gone and watched some other podcast. You could have gone and listened to some type of music in this time that you're spending listening to this. Take this piece of information. If you have to replay it to listen to it again, find that piece of information. Guarantee you will find it if you were looking. Okay, so that's my challenge to you this week, is go find your vision. Find your goal. Be as detailed as you can. Write it down. Visualize it. Make the actionable steps towards it. Because it's not just going to come. Unless you're truly so hard, believe it so hard, it's not just going to come. If it's an unwavering belief, then it will. That's what the whole law of attraction is, right? That's what faith is. But if it's something you want to shoot towards, some type of manifestation where it's more actionable, those are the steps you need to take. Okay? That's my challenge to you this week. I love you all. Thank you once again for tuning in. to this week's episode of Heck versus Hell. So, I want to see you there. I want to see you at the event, where we're at. Sign up to it. Sign up on it. We have the links in the description. If not, sign up to our other events that we will be having. Go on the website. We have newsletters to where we basically announce every type of event that we have. And just be in touch with us. You know, this shouldn't be just you coming in and listening to us. This should be a unity. You know, we're not here just trying to preach to you, hey, this is what we're, boom, this is the truth we tell. No. This is supposed to be a unity, supposed to be a relationship. We are not just trying to talk at you. We're trying to talk with you. We're trying to help you out in the best ways we can. And if the information helps you out enough, then let that be so. But we do love you. You right there listening to this, cutting up some chicken. You right there listening to this, sitting on the toilet. You right there listening to this on your drive home from work. You right there listening to this when you should be reading your book or in class. We love you, and you are purpose. So, I hope this message penetrated your heart, and at least one piece of information that will move you forward and perpetuate and change the trajectory of your life stays within you, so that the greatness within you can come out to the world. So, as always, you know what I'm going to end it off with. We'll see you on the flip side.